He had a stint as the collegiate team's backup quarterback. Nathan Peterman was the team's backup and the player ahead of him on the depth chart. Even in his draft class, he was only considered the ninth best quarterback. He had a dismal first 5 seasons in the NFL, throwing for just 10 completions, and he didn't get his first start until his 6th year. Consequently, how did Joshua Dobbs achieve his current level of success? Here is the complete and accurate account. Joshua Dobbs' surprising rise, what you don't know. Based on the recruiting website you consult, Dobbs was a 3 or 4-star prospect straight out of high school. He hails from Georgia. His ranking by 247 Sports was 9th best among class quarterbacks, surpassing even Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield. Dobbs' native school, Georgia, was one of just a handful of Power 5 institutions who showed genuine interest in him, despite his high ranking. Duke, Maryland, Harvard, Yale, Arizona State, Arkansas, and several others extended offers to Dobbs, but he and his family ultimately determined that Tennessee was the ideal choice for him for 2 reasons. 1, the football program was competitive, and 2, they appreciated the coaching staff. Dobbs and his family placed an even higher value on the engineering section of the institution. If it weren't for the engineering department, Dobbs never would have been a Vol, according to Tennessee head coach Butch Jones. The academic department had to convince Dobbs' family that there were enough academics to support Dobbs beyond football. After starter Justin Worley was sidelined with an injury during his freshman year, Dobbs made 4 starts. But his early starts weren't exactly kind. He had a debut game as a college quarterback against Missouri, ranked 10th in the nation, and finished 26 for 42 passing for 240 yards with 2 interceptions. The final score was 31-3. Playing 7th-ranked Auburn the following week, the squad fell short with a 55-23 score. Their loss to an unranked Vanderbilt team the next week only made matters worse. The Vols defeated the Wildcats 27-14 on the road in Dobbs' final start of the season. Although his numbers were less than stellar, Dobbs managed 695 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in just 5 games as a rookie. He and fellow sophomore Nathan Peterman were in an open quarterback competition with Worley, the incumbent starter and a senior, during his sophomore year. Unfortunately, Worley's season ended in October after he won the job. Dobbs wasn't his replacement this time, though. After Nathan Peterman finished the game in which Worley was injured, he was named the starting quarterback. In the subsequent game against 5th-ranked Bama, Peterman was likewise given the nod to start. Still, Dobbs was benched after only 3 series and never returned. Dobbs was chosen the team's starting quarterback following the game, since he was obviously better than Peterman, even if the team still lost to Alabama. And SEC football game was Josh's introduction to the conference the week after. When the 4th quarter rolled around, the Vols trailed South Carolina by 14 points. In the 4th quarter, Josh completed a pair of touchdown passes and added another on the ground to send the game into overtime, where they went on to kick a winning field goal. In that game, Dobbs threw for 301 yards and 2 scores, and he also led the team in rushing with an incredible 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. With just one more loss for the season, Tennessee earned a spot in the bowl for the first time since 2010 and went on to win it. In his brief sophomore season, Dobbs completed 63% of his passes for 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns while throwing 6 interceptions. In addition, he scored 8 touchdowns and carried for 469 yards. When Joshua was a junior in 2015, Tennessee was ranked 25th in the country, and he was named the starting quarterback. As of Week 5, though, they were 2-3 and out of the rankings. Their next opponent, the 19th-ranked Georgia, didn't appear to be going to make it any easier. In the 2nd quarter, Tennessee was already behind 24-3 when the game began. Despite the hometown team's lack of interest in recruiting him, the unranked Vols were able to pull off an upset because to Dobbs' 3 touchdown passes, 300 yards passing, and 100-plus rushing yards and 2 scores on his own, including an upset win in the Outback Bowl against Northwestern, rated 13th in the nation. Tennessee went 7-1 for the remainder of the season. Josh passed for 2,200 yards and 15 touchdowns with 5 interceptions in his first full season starting at quarterback. His completion percentage was 59%. He covered 671 yards while running on the ground